It's all good.
Oh, okay, good. I was falls on my end.
No, no, no. We got like 80 things going on. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to. Oh, I got to put my picture up. That would help, Tracy.
Oh, okay. There we go.
I'm gonna take the blur off too,
Oh, okay. Works for me.
if Grandma can find it, because I'm like 80.
Oh no, you ain't. You like 35. You like 30,
Yes.
40. That's our story. We're sticking to it.
Okay. None. There we go.
Oh, that's more like it.
So you get to see all the crazy.
Yeah, I'll see that in about 24 hours or so.
Okay.
Yes, I'm still on the ground in the East Coast.
Oh God, no, just get here. It's finally the sun is finally coming out. I was like, I'm wearing my glasses today. No one will stop me.
That's good. That's good. That's good. What
Hey,
is it cold out there? Because I was reading the forecast during my
here's
walk.
the thing. I'm from Ohio. Cold to me is 24 degrees.
Okay.
It's probably about 50 right now, and I'm like, I'm taking my jacket off every 2 seconds with a t-shirt on. So
Oh,
I'm used
okay.
to 50 is springtime.
Okay. I'm from New Jersey, New York, originally, as you could probably tell by my voice. But but I now live in North Carolina. Well, that's home base for me, I should say, because I travel. I'm
Okay.
traveling all over the place, so I definitely can relate to that for sure. But yeah, but thank you for both taking and making the time to do this with me. I had a
All
June.
good.
My host, co-host would normally be doing these in person, but she don't do Zooms, as she clearly always tells me. So it's gonna be me doing this in place of her, which I do them too. It's just that
All
it
good.
depends on the circumstance. But yeah, so I'm definitely gonna be respectful of your time and not go past 1 p.m. Eastern, which is 10 Pacific, so it probably won't even be that long, but I'm a
All
lot
good.
more concise. But yeah. All right then. Well, Miss Tracy, if you could just tell our audiences, this is our Super Bowl edition of Queen's Court Conversations, and I am the co-host and executive producer and assistant, Clay D'Souza here, also known as Clay D the One Only, and I have the wonderful Miss Tracy Anderson here with us on location in Las Vegas. Thank you for having us, Miss Tracy.
Thank you for having me. I made time for you because one, I'm anytime somebody wants to hear me talk, I'm like, okay,
All right, perfect,
it's all
perfect,
good.
perfect. Sounds good. Well, Tracy, Miss Tracy, if you could just tell the audience just who you are and what's your background.
Well, my name is Tracy Anderson. I'm originally from Dayton, Ohio. I was an athlete all my life. I think I'm still an athlete. I'm just a retired one. I'm a D1, full scholarship track and field. I turned down Texas for basketball because I was like, I don't want to do both.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was kind of brought up in the Jackie Joyner, so that was when the heptathlon craze was going on. So who would ever want to do 7 events to get one medal is clearly crazy. But I was just influenced by Jackie Joyner because she was just the amazing, one of the best athletes that ever run track. And so went to Purdue. Uh, okay, I have a sick employee.
It's all good.
This is what happens when you're on a podcast and no one cares and you tell them.
Gotcha.
But just outside of that, I think my track career kind of prepared me. I always loved sports, and I always loved television. And I knew one day in my career I wanted to marry them together. So I was in local news for at least 28, 30 years. And in my free time,
Yeah.
I would sub for Big Ten Network or CBS Sports when they were on the road. I would be a tech manager. I started as an assistant director, and then I kind of moved up when someone got sick, and they were like, "Tracy, can you do it?" And I was like, "I'll try. I'll do it."
Right, right.
And I did it, and the opportunity came up, and then after that, they were like, "Can you do 26 more games?" And I was like, "Am I gonna get paid 26 more times?" So
That part.
that part too. So that kind of, like I said, I was always in news, but I never forgot, like, I loved athletics. And then when COVID hit, and then there were a lot of people, I never got COVID.
Yeah,
And to
right.
this
Same here.
day, it's crazy. So when that happened, people wanted me to help and fill in some gaps. And it was a great opportunity. And I just realized, like, I wanted to do this full time. So that's when I kind of switched about 2 years ago. And this opportunity presented itself. And the rest is history. I'm at I'm running CBS Sports HQ. Won't he do it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're definitely doing it big time for sure. And I would just like to ask is how long have you been with CBS Sports in general?
I started with them April of 2022. So I'm going to hit
I
two
see.
years on April 11th. And in that 2 years, I've been promoted twice.
Well, congratulations.
So
That's deserved.
hustle hard. When you told me I was going to be on Queens Court, I was like, okay, I'm a hustler, so I gotta represent.
Definitely, definitely. And is this your first Super Bowl that you're covering or working?
No, I was. It's a little different. I was at the Super Bowl representing HQ last year. We had a content president. I mean, you have to be at one of the biggest event on the planet,
Yeah,
outside of the World Cup. So last year it was just a different dynamic because when you're not the actual TV entity that's airing the game, you are kind of giving the stories. You have your team here, you're reporting day of obviously, but when CBS, the opportunity obviously is that this year CBS is actually presenting the game. It's just a
yeah,
little bit different. Our presence is insane. Like I said, I would walk you down to. I'll show you the
yeah. Please
mothership.
do, please do.
So
As
there's
many
the
access as I
HQ
can get.
set.
Oh, nice. Love it.
So
Is that the
we're
Bellagio in the
getting,
background?
yeah, we're a
Okay.
little bit. If you see it, the stage is built over the Bellagio.
Oh, okay. Nice. Wow. That looks
Yeah,
lovely.
it's nothing like getting a call when they're like, Tracy, the scuba divers are taking a lunch break. I'm like, that's a sentence I'll never hear again. But I'm just a kid from Dayton where I'm just like, write this down, Tracy. You heard
I
the scuba
know.
divers are taking a lunch break. Your
I
set
know.
will be done. So I'm gonna walk you through.
That's great.
So this
Wow. Thanks for this
we
tour.
call. Oh, no problem. I thought it'd be more interesting than me in a hotel room.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this is
This is
we call
first
this back
interactive
up.
one I've had.
Oh yeah.
Our
And then some
first.
people yell
Mhm.
at me.
Okay.
Just
Is Nate Burleson over there?
bear with me.
Okay.
He might be. I know the time Jim Rome show is going right now. So this is
Okay.
the CBS Sports. So I'll give you the real quick one.
Sure.
There's three divisions of CBS Sports.
Mm-hmm.
You have to bear with the name. CBS Sports is Division One. That's the one where you see they air the games, like on Sundays and March Madness. They are airing actual games content. Then there's CBS Sports Network. That's what you will find on cable or Hulu, where they air games, some analysis, and also programming. So you'll see professional bull riding, poker. You'll see kind of anything related to sports is on CBS Sports Network cable.
Yeah, I have that.
I am CBS Sports HQ. We are the third division. We are the streaming arm.
Yeah.
And if you're watching us, you're not watching. We're not cable. We're your
Yeah.
phone, we're your tablet. You can get us over the air on Pluto, if I can say it.
Oh, yeah.
And then also other apps that you can download, and obviously the CBS Sports app. So
Yep.
I'm gonna.
I definitely watch that because I don't always have cable, so I definitely got CBS Sports HQ for sure. So I'm
Well,
definitely
and it's the future. I
yeah.
mean, if you're still having to tell people that streaming is the future, they're already behind, and it's people's lives and the way they watch any kind of content now is no longer okay. The game is coming on at 1. The
Yeah.
NFL game is coming on at 1, but you
Hmm.
have people that are at work and they still want to see the game and they want to still get analysis and they're going to look at it on their phone. So
Exactly.
if you're already on your phone watching the game or commenting on it, then you're close to the CBS HQ model, the app. You're our viewer, and then also it's just the fact that outside of watching live game, everybody wants to comment. Everybody wants to know, the analysis and who's talking about trades. And, outside of the Super Bowl, there's still 30 other teams that, want to win the Super Bowl next year. So there's trade
Exactly.
deadlines, there's injury reports, there's coaching. So we lean heavily into that content where we're not just talking about the game this week. We're talking about what owns all of CBS Sports, obviously Nickelodeon, MTV,
Yeah.
BET, is that Drew Barrymore show. If you can, I can probably cheat.
Okay.
That's Ross up
Cool.
there.
Okay. Nice.
And Drew is probably around here somewhere. I'll probably
Yeah.
bump into her when they
Just Drew
walk her to the
Barrymore.
set.
Nothing to see here.
Well, and then they have a middle set that they're doing. You're going to see inside the NFL, and you're going to see Tops, the other
Right.
halftime show. You're going to see that from here. They're
You
setting up
seen
cameras
you
right
seen
now.
you seen Ocho yet?
Oh, I'm a Bengals fan, so I probably, if I see Ocho, I'm going to probably just. I have a picture with him actually. I've met him once.
Oh,
He's a
okay.
cool guy.
Yeah.
So, and then there's a third set, which I'm trying to figure out what. Oh, they're doing Jim Rome show.
Okay. Okay.
So,
All the good.
so
The good
Jim Rome, his show is going on now. So this is airing on CBS Sports Network.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, like I said, with Paramount, we're content. We are. They're even
Yeah.
doing Nickelodeon's doing like the kids Super Bowl this year, where they're gonna have like slime
Yeah.
time, and it's like
Should be interesting.
I aged out of SpongeBob, but I know it's like all wrapped around.
I've
And
been
I'm sitting there going like,
aged
I
out
love
too,
Sponge. I was
so.
like, I'm aged out, but I know about SpongeBob. So
Yeah, I've seen their playoff broadcasts like in the past recently. I don't know if I would do that with a Super Bowl. I will probably will watch the tapes or recorded version like later time,
well,
but I couldn't do it in real time. You know what I mean? So
right, but it's brilliant because they're basically like they're tapping into a younger audience. So if you have a 7, 8 year old, you know, the parents. Let's be real. Sorry, Jets.
oh nice. Oh wow.
The Blue Angels just practicing while you're strolling down the strip. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
I love my life.
Good. I want
But
it.
so you can have it. You can have anything. Like I said, I'm a girl from Dayton, and two and a
Mhm.
half years ago, I was a station manager at ABC6 in Columbus, Ohio. So anything is possible.
Okay,
So
okay.
no, but to wrap up the Nickelodeon conversation, they want a new era, a new fan base. So when the adults are watching, you know, the football game and they're got the beer and all that stuff, the kids can be in another room watching the Nickelodeon version. It's brilliant to me because you're hooking in another generation of
Hmm.
viewers.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's real good for sure. Well, definitely the NFL is very top tier when it comes to its marketing, even with the Taylor Swift aspect of it.
Oh, there's that.
For sure, for sure. But as far as like people who've influenced you, Tracy, who inspires you, or who have been your role models, your biggest ones throughout your lifetime, personally and professionally?
Even during Black History Month, I'm going to say this honestly, there were so many. Honestly, there weren't a lot of African American women that do what I do. I think I've met one other production African American woman, production manager or behind the scenes, you know, technical director in my career. And obviously we became like best friends immediately because we was like, there's one of you, there's only two of us.
I know, right?
But honestly, there were a lot of, I call them my light-skinned friends that at my first station, Stu Metzger, Michael Berry, Brian Compton. Like I said, I know I'm going to miss a lot of people, but there were people that saw potential in me and was just like, and can I be real on
Yeah,
Queen's Court? Can I be real?
absolutely. Oh yeah, yeah. We
Can,
get
can I
real.
can I break it down?
Yes, absolutely. We get real here.
Um, there's a lot of people that are intimidated by African American women because you know
Mhm.
we are multitasking machines. You know, we are educated, we are smart, and the allies, my good allies, the people who are managers and leaders over me. Oh, Frank Wilson, I gotta mention him. Is that literally they were like, yeah, she's got it. What can I do? You know what, Tracy? You're doing well here, here, and here. You need to tune up here. And I listened. I was a sponge because what you want the most in your career, and especially in an industry where there's not a lot of us, is you want feedback, good, bad, or indifferent. You want someone to one give you feedback, and if they give you feedback, they care. They care about you and they care about your career. So that's probably been the biggest thing to me is having allies that didn't look
That's
like me. And
good.
I know a lot of African Americans are kind of like, I don't know them, or You know, they
Yeah,
don't know about my struggle. No, they don't know about your struggle, but they know how to win because they're your boss. You know, and so I
exactly.
just leaned into that, and I was just like, I worked. One boss before he retired, I was like, can I have lunch with you? I was like, I want your position when you leave, and he was like, okay, you're gonna do the job. You're not gonna complain about it. You're gonna do your job already. You're gonna do my job, and we're gonna meet every week, and I'm gonna pick you apart. And I was like, all right, because it's like everybody thinks the title and all that stuff is just glamorous and all that, but you know, you're here on a set where it's been raining for 3 days. You
Yeah,
got two sick employees. You got to make sure you're keeping yourself healthy. So it's like they just instilled in me that, you know, you take care of yourself, you take care of your teams, and you know the rest will take care of itself.
that's good. That's good. I definitely can relate, even with producing these podcasts. Obviously, it pales in comparison to what you do at CBS, but I've gotten a snapshot of it. So what production life is like. You always have to stay ready and be ready, for
Yep.
sure. Uh, as far as like family to support, are they very supportive of what you do and just everything? What's that like, if you can explain?
Oh yeah, family. I mean, it's a black family. When I come home, when I go home to Dayton, it's hilarious. They've been around me long enough, and they're like, Tracy, we have bottled water. We have warm bottled water because you don't like cold bottle. Like
Really? Oh, wow.
I'm just sitting there going like, okay, I love y'all, and I probably have some OCD issues, but yeah, I'm gonna take that warm bottled water over cold bottled water. It gives me a ice cream headache. But
Mhm.
oh my god, when I come to town, they love up on me, and you need it because you get beat up out here in the world. Like I said, this is it's beat up is not. Everybody thinks that's like somebody putting hands on you, but sometimes it's the beat up where you just walk in here and, like I said, I've been in this role for 9 months, 10 months, and the person who was in it before me, he left the company, and I wasn't trying to be him. I just know I wanted to be the best. And you're
Yeah.
gonna have people when you're here that they're like, well, when Port was here, this is what we did, and when so and such was here, this is what we did. So I know when I go home and I see my family, you know, I have a long-term relationship. You know, I have somebody that, you know, I cry. I'm a girl. I have
Hmm.
hard days, but I have a place to be like, oh my God, this is crazy right now. And they're like, you know, stay the course. So I have a great support system. My parents, praise God, are still on the planet. So my dad will just send me a text message, you good? And I'll be like, yep. And he's like, all right, keep hitting it. And I'm
That's
like, all right,
good.
dad. So yeah, my family is amazing. And my friends, I'm in a sorority, Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority
Okay.
Incorporated.
Awesome, awesome.
So,
You're the first one we've ever had from that sorority on the show.
hi.
Usually we have predominantly AKAs, a few dozens, but we never even one from Sigma Gamma. So you're the first.
Oh,
True
awesome.
story.
Always
True
got to be
story.
the first.
Oh
That's
yeah.
okay. And I tell people like that sorority was for me because I'm like, and I make fun of my Delta friends and my AK friends, but I was like, y'all always got like 7,000 people. I was like, you got one Tracy, that equals like 70 of you. So hey,
Oh yeah.
I talk my so
Oh,
much,
I know. Me too. Me too.
but
Now,
it's all good.
that's good. Wonderful. Now, this is typically what Queen D asks, and it's a little uncomfortable for me to ask, but she likes to keep it real on this. So I'm going to do as best as I can. You can answer how you want.
Okay, all
Okay.
right. Oh,
So
let me put my Burberry's on.
okay.
Let me
So
let me at least.
she would normally ask, "You're a very successful woman and such. Do you have a man or do you have kids, and are they supportive?"
Oh no, you never hurt my feelings at all. My thing is, I do have a
Curious to
man.
ask that. Okay.
He's a Phi Beta Sigma.
Okay.
I
Okay.
told him I was like he ain't getting his name mentioned, you know. But I tell people I'm like you can have a relationship, but you know does the relationship have you? Boom. So
Hmm.
no, I do have a stable relationship. I am not married. I have no kids, and I that was a decision that I chose
Hmm.
because for my career, I think I would be a horrible mom because for what I do, I'm on the road probably 65, 70% of the year. I have staff in Stanford. I have, you know, I'm out of Florida and then I have to fly around and do Super Bowl stuff. This is the life I chose. But I tell people I love on my aunts, not aunts, my nieces and nephews. So I'm like, that was not a path for me.
Yeah.
And it's okay. But like I said, when I go home, all I have best friends and they're like, I'm Tracy. And like those are the kids that I love because I can spoil them and we could go out and like I'm like, they're now in their 20s, so like we go drinking and then we go shopping, and then I send them home and they feel confident that they can call me and talk to me when they, I can't talk to my mom. She doesn't understand. I'm like, she's the same age as me. I don't understand. Your hypothesis is flawed. And they just laugh at me. But I'm like, it's all good. And like I said, I am so happy with my life.
That's good.
And
I
I don't diss women who have kids and all that and still do that. I have several women on my staff that are moms, and I respect that space. And I'm like, you can't hurt my feelings. I'm like, I'm 52 and I'm grown. And I'm like, I'm talking to you outside of the Bellagio. Look at there.
Yeah.
Look at
there. Shoot.
And that stage right there with all them people on it, they report to me.
I'm about to run to the airport now. Shoot, just here. I gotta wait.
So no, I'm good. God is good. Life is good. So
that's good. That's wonderful to hear. You definitely don't look 52. You definitely look 42.
Black don't crack.
Oh, absolutely. I'm 36, so I probably look younger than that.
Baby. Yeah, I would have gave you 27.
Oh no. I appreciate that though. So I need you to adopt me. You could adopt me as either a nephew or cousin. So
all right, nephew.
Okay.
That was easy.
That's good. That's good. But do you feel there's any gatekeeping over with CBS or within this particular industry, especially as it relates to African Americans? Because often in media spaces, much like if any industry, there's a lot of gatekeeping. Have you encountered that, or do you see it happening and such? And if you have, what's your best advice for navigating through the hoops?
Oh,
at the jump
that is a great question. I've had those experiences in my career.
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say I haven't had them at CBS, and I would be 100% honest. I'd be like, okay, next question. But here's the difference: is when you have a light-skinned ally who goes, she's good. Like I said, out the gate, I brought the goods. I was like, I didn't sit there and go like, oh, okay, I'm gonna kind of mail it in, and I'm gonna go golfing this weekend. I'm gonna come in at 2 and leave at 3. I came in off the street hungry. And when you have a manager or a leader that sees that, and they know anything you do or say is going to make them look good, they will give you the tools, they'll give you the respect, and they damn sure will give you the money, because they know whatever they give you is going to be multiplied in their hands. So does it happen? Yeah, there were several experiences. My last employer, I'll just leave them nameless. I had a great manager, but the manager over that manager did not want to see me succeed. Like I said, I'm honest to a fault, is that he thought me winning was he didn't see it as a connection, that if I'm winning, if I'm doing well, that means he's winning. That means the station is doing well. And that was a lot, and it was heavy. And I knew after one experience where I did something for the team and it was in my budget, and I didn't spend money. It was in my budget. I spent money, and I had an opportunity to buy something for my department.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, you could get it if you're buying it for 12 people, you can get the same price for $20 more. You can get it for $300. I was like, oh crap. I was like, yeah, give me $300. I'll give one to everybody in the station. And when he found out, he was livid.
Oh wow.
Livid. And I didn't spend money that wasn't mine. It was just basically like I did something that curried favor in his eyes or made people like me, and he was not about that. And I learned a really valuable lesson, like I said, is that everybody ain't trying to see you win. And you have to realize in that moment, in that instant, I knew from that second on, I was like, this is not a place for me. So then COVID hit, and I was just like, you know what? God sends you little subtle messages to get your together, and trust in him, take a chance, and the rest is history. So yeah, and as you said, and I'll wrap it up with this question, is you're not going to have positive people in your corner every step of the way. It's just this life. But you lean into the ones who do give you nourishment, give you hope, give you, sometimes you get beat down so much you just want to curl up in a ball and just be like, yeah, I'm done with all this bleep. But then you lean into the people who are in your corner and you recognize that 20% of the foulness, of the negativity, of the a-holes should never outweigh the 80% of the people that are for you, down for you, will give you the coat off of their back. And you always have to remember, you're not alone out there. So
That's good.
You're gonna make me cry.
Oh, you can do that here. We can make you cry. Well, Auntie Tracy, where do you see yourself in 5 years? You know it's gonna go.
Oh, well, if I
2
can
to
tell
5
you in
years.
five,
We'll do 2 to 5
if
years.
I give you 5 months, I'm going to be promoted again.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell you that.
Okay.
I like the VP, but I think I want an S in front of that VP.
SVP. Okay.
So I'm
Nice.
hustling right now to get that in the next 5 months. That's my 5-month goal, and then my 5-year goal. Oh wow. I'm honestly, career wise, family wise, relationship wise, I'm just thankful to where I am.
That's
But
good.
I want to stay with CBS Sports.
Mhm.
We have new leadership coming in the next couple of months, so I'm excited to see where David is going to take the company. Paramount's going to get sold, I'm hearing. What does that
Really?
mean for me?
To whom?
Yeah.
I think
Oh, don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
There's so much on the street. Yeah, I'm not telling you any trade secrets. This is public knowledge.
Okay. Yeah, I think I
Um,
saw something yesterday. That's why I was just like, it was about
yes.
with Netflix. I could be like, I don't know if that's a similar article, but it was about Paramount
Yeah.
going under with Hulu, going merged with Hulu, Netflix. I just skimmed it. That's it.
Here's the thing. We're going to get sold. Her name not Sherry Underwood. That's Cheryl Underwood. She's a Zeta. I should know that. Sherry Redstone. She owns 77% of Paramount, and she's ready to sell it. So she's going to sell it because I think they speculated that she loses $1 billion a year. Don't you want to have that problem? Like, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
I'm losing $1
Mhm.
billion this year. I only have $7 billion.
Mhm.
So she's selling the company. So we're gonna get sold. What does that mean for the company? I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. I know I'm gonna be fine either way. And with my talents and my skills, I love me some CBS. But if that means that I'm I'm a free agent.
Good. It's good.
Get at me, ESPN. Get at me, NBC Sports. Like I'm like, I love where I am,
Yeah.
but this is where you look at your opportunities. People, they do it the reverse. They start hating where they are and they look for a job and then they're just trying to get out.
Yeah.
I'm happy where I am. I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna see something's interesting. Because guess what? I can be like, no, you got to be an amazing offer to make me leave
That's good.
CBS Sports.
That's good. So you're still always just keeping an eye out,
Oh yeah.
even though it's good. That's how I feel
Oh
too.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm never too satisfied because ultimately I feel the only position that I truly want for myself is the CEO or executive director, founder of my own company. That's really the position that I truly desire for a legacy purpose and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, I would love to work for a CBS Sports or Netflix Sports. I'm just keeping it central to this conversation. But
Yeah.
ultimately, at the end of the day, Clay D wants to have a Black-owned media company. Now, that can
Mm-hmm.
be media composed of podcasts, other content creation, and such. But ultimately, that's the end goal. And this kind of segues into my next question to you is that the future of sports, do you see it going to where it's kind of a two-part? We're going to have, as I feel as though in a few years, after this rotation of the networks with the Super Bowls and all of that, we're going to have an exclusive streaming only Super Bowl, either on Netflix or Amazon Prime. Probably that's going to be the likely candidate, in my personal view, or Peacock and such. Do you see that happening? That's my first part of this question. The second part is,
Okay.
do you see sports, primary sporting events like the Masters and such, which is covered by CBS,
Mm-hmm.
being completely on a streaming platform in the future, like a Netflix or whatever? That's kind of a loaded question, but if you just
No. So your first question, Would major sports, a Super Bowl, an NBA championship, be on streaming only? Here's where we are now. I was like, whatever I answer is going to be wrong because the landscape is changing
For sure.
year to year now. Go back with me. Go back 5 years when everybody was like, "Oh, streaming," and it's like, "I'm cutting the cable cord and I'm going to pay for. I'm going to have Netflix was the thing." The problem is now today is that now your bill's going back. You cut the cord to not pay $200 a month in cable, but now you're paying $200 because now you have 7 streaming services. And then in those streaming services that they promised you wouldn't have commercials, now you got commercials.
Yeah.
So now people have kind of leaned back and be like, bump this. I want some Freebie. I want some Pluto. I want Tubi. I want some place where if I'm going to watch movies, I might as well watch it for free because you're already slapping commercials in them on Max and back on Showtime. So it's like, what the heck? So currently now, do I see that today? I say no. I know that Peacock is tried to make exclusive events. They put my alma mater, Purdue, a game on Peacock, and I was like, I'm not signing up for you. But then my dad wanted to see the Dallas Cowboys play, and I was like, well, here you go, Dad. It's $5.99, and I canceled it immediately.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like,
I've got a free trial.
Yeah, everybody gets a free. We know the game. People know the game.
Oh yeah.
And it's. But look at the strategy. Are you really winning? You got $5.99 out of me, but now you literally pissed me off because I'm like, this is how you're going to make me watch sports. So I think right now they're trying to test that out. I don't think it's going to succeed. The second one, your question about like the Masters or anything else, and we go to 100% streaming for. I think you're going to get back. You're backing yourself into the cable box. Is that people are going to they're going to hit a price point and a level where they're going to be like, okay, you know what, bump it. I'll just go to. Here's the thing: if you want to see the game, go to Buffalo Wild Wings. Like I don't have to pay and then I'm gonna get a meal. I'm at least be with some friends. I'm at least be someplace where I want to be just for one game. Like I said, so the consumer has realized like they can outsmart you. And I don't have to pay. And I'm like I said, personally with Peacock, no disrespect, but I was like, when they put the Purdue games on there and even football, I'm like I said, that's my alma mater. We suck at football, but our basketball squad is.
You're a Boilermaker.
I'm a Boilermaker through and through. But I was like, I was like, I'm not watching the game on there. I'll just look at it. I said, I'll just get the score updates on my phone.
Okay.
So you're not getting $5.99 out of me. So. The answer to your question is, could it happen? Sure. Will it happen? I don't believe it will.
Gotcha. And here's the other couple parts to that. Do you possibly envision or can see in a few years down the line, sports broadcast, what I mean by sports broadcast, game coverage being, I don't want to use the word dominant, but have an option where you have a podcast show doing the broadcasting? I'll give you an example, kind of like what Pat McAfee did with the national championship game. Can you see that becoming more prevalent down the road in some form or fashion, whether it's independently? Obviously, that's probably going to be more tricky because you have a lot of barriers with FCC and all that, but at least under the guise of like a Paramount Plus, like, oh, this is a good podcast show. It's going to have an alternative version of the AFC Championship game, much like what Pat McAfee did with the National Championship game or the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, and I watched him when he was on the sidelines. That was at the Texas-Oklahoma, the Red River rivalry. I watched it, and here's the thing. I think the answer to your question is no. Yes and no. I just made up a word. Yay, look at me.
No.
Because while that was on my phone, I was watching the game on TV. That's where people have to look at where content is going now, is that people just don't sit down and watch it on TV. They got their phone in their hand. Somebody else has got their phone in their hand. They're like, oh man, did you see what happened just on so and such? And you flip over to that on your phone. So you now have to think about content and viewership like 2-3-dimensional chess, where you can't just say like everybody's going to watch the game on because the game is on CBS for Super Bowl, but they're also going to have Probably Peyton and Eli are going to have a cast. There's just so many options for people that you just have to want to get a piece of the pie. You're not going to get all of the pie anymore, but you want to get a piece of it.
Which is funny because if I'm not mistaken, I think not this one. I think Fox has next year, but in a couple of years, ABC is going to have their first telecast of the Super Bowl since 2006. I'm kind of aging myself there, but I've already told you I was like one. So I actually remember ABC's last telecast of the Super Bowl was Steelers and Seahawks back in February 2006. Yeah, it's been that long. They carry playoff games, and ABC has kind of slowly got back in there. I could completely see a Manning cast Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
if they're still doing it, obviously.
But content, like I said, I don't mind if that's on my phone. And like I said, every viewer is different. That's the thing now, is that you have to give this. I'm going to plug my company again. Is that, what CBS is realizing, and Paramount, is that you got kids that are going to want to see the Super Bowl their way. You've got, people want to see the game on CBS, but halftime there's content. People are going to come to HQ. Now I'm going to plug me some HQ. It's like, we don't have the game. We will never air a Super Bowl game on HQ. We don't have the rights. We don't need to. We know people will be talking about it 5-6 hours before the game. They're going to be on HQ. When the game happens, we give people tape content about, what's going on in women's sports, what's going on in golf and tennis and everything. And then when halftime hits, we're back live. And we're talking about, okay, what happened in the first quarter, what's happened second quarter. We're giving you the lines, we're giving you sports lines, giving you the betting lines, what's changing, what's the under over. Like, that's how we've dug in. That's how we've been successful, is that you have to recognize, and not you personally, but the viewer, content is king. And you have to give people an amuse boost. You got to give them an appetizer. You got to give them, some morsels. You got to give them a porterhouse, a tomahawk. You got to give them a little bit of everything, because everybody's tastes are so different now. And no one thing is the money shot anymore. You got to give people options.
That's good.
Why do you think there's like pink, purple, green, red M&Ms? Like, M&Ms were the same color for how many years? And then somebody went, how about we make some Valentines, pink, red, and white? And they taste the same. They're the same damn M&Ms.
That's good.
But you pay more.
Mm-hmm.
Then somebody said, you know what if you put people's names on them? And they went, yeah. And they pay more for that. So people have to just remember that the content, it's not one way to hit a bullseye anymore. You can hit it with an arrow. You can hit it with a gun. You can hit it with a cup. But you have to be pliable. And that's the only way when you start your company, you will succeed, because if you narrow down your audience, but then you also have to recognize that you have an audience that has different subsets. So
cool. Appreciate you dropping those gems. Appreciate you showing all this to me, Auntie Tracy, for sure. You've been a great asset to this show and this Super Bowl edition and such. And if the Lord lays it on your heart, and if you're able to, I don't know, bless with some tickets, we ain't gonna say no, but we'll definitely would love to stay connected with you for sure.
I will have those tickets. I'm going to have them FedEx to you immediately. Just stand by the door.
All right.
and don't leave the door ever. If you don't go to the bathroom, don't eat, don't go to sleep, because the tickets are coming to your door.
All right. All right, Tracy. I'm going to let you go because I know you have a hard stop coming up. But thank you again for joining Queen's Court Conversations with the wonderful Miss Tracy Anderson.